What's up guys, Claudin here, and since I finally gotten Hue after a long while now, and I've gotten that much Damascus golds, now's the time where I'll be ranking all the weapons based off of how easy or hard they are to get Damascus gold based off of this tier list. So I'm probably gonna speedrun this because I've been wanting to make this video, but at the same time I don't have much time to talk about this because it's probably straightforward anyways. So let's get on with it, shall we? Now for ARs, we'll start with those real quick. I'm instantly putting them all in the A tier because they're all fun in my opinion, but then you have a problem of trying to hit headshots in sweaty lobbies these days, and if you try to hit headshots with those weapons, then you're probably not gonna have a good time, in my opinion. There are some exceptions though. They all in default go in the same tier and can literally be placed anywhere in the A tier, but then there are some weapons that have one tap head conversions like the GLK, which means something like that will easily go to S tier because they make the headshot kills so much easier and it's not even funny. M4 is also going to S. This actually used to not one tap head if I remember correctly, but now it does, so that's really cool. Scar also goes to S. Would I put this in? Actually, yeah, A. This is A, this is A, this is A, this is definitely S. And now we move on to SMGs. So, in my opinion, they're literally like the ARs, or basically regs in general. They all deserve to be an A, and the headshots are typically some of the toughest to try to finish Damascus gold challenges with. So, like the ARs, they're unordered because they're all fun to use. Okay, PPSH, this will definitely go to B because it's a literal P shooter, and it is not fun trying to get headshot kills with it. So, yeah. Tommy gun. Although I'd say it's even more fun now, I'd still put it at B because it's also a P shooter, unfortunately. UMP, easily A, Uzi A, and then now we move on to LMGs. Now LMGs is where I'll change things up a bit because these are easily high A tiers because they shoot slow, they hit hard, and they are easy to get, you know, headshot kills with. Everything else is just standard for all these regs, so they shouldn't be that hard for every other challenges for Damascus gold. So yeah, I'll still put this in A in my opinion. It's like every other gun because the drop off is not too bad in MTG1, even though the spread is kind of bad. But who cares, right? It's like SMGs all over again. M249 definitely A, and then we have the rifles. So Bar can easily go in F. This thing does not one tap head, and it sucks at very far ranges for long shot kills, so it's not worth it. Actually, since Hawk and RFB need long shots too, and they could sometimes have a hard time hitting sweats in sway lobbies, then probably in A. Probably in lower than LMGs, but above M231 at least, so put that. Every other rifles, I'll probably put them in B because they're not that fun to hit long shots with, because once you hit one shot on a sweat, they just sweat all over. It's not fun. It's very scary. S tier. Easily. SKS, same drill. T64 can easily go to A tier for sure because it has an auto conversion and acts like all the regs. So long shot is taken care of for that one, so it's not too bad. Alright, snipers. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Aim 20, most people would typically put this in lower tiers because, you know, it has terrible bullet drop and knockback, but in my opinion, I would put in A at least, like the top A, because it's a sniper after all. It's just, the drawbacks just make it kind of bad for grinding. Same with the Seiko TRG, because this one's outdated for sniping these days, and it can actually be a struggle trying to get Damascus gold with it, so there's that. Every other sniper, easily S, top of S, no debate on that. Yes, even some of the snipers I dislike in this tier are also going to S for how easy they are to get Damascus gold, because they really aren't that bad. I mean, same thing with Seiko, but I don't know, it's kind of not that good these days, because not that good compared to other snipers, but it's still really good. However, I do like to say that the Iris, DSR, and ASR, they all deserve in the ZZZZZ tier because they are literal cakewalks to literally get Damascus golds with, in my opinion. Like, you cannot tell me that these are hard to get Damascus golds with, in my opinion. Especially since, you know, it's really easy to use them. nowadays. That's all I have to say about those. Let's move on. Shotguns, I would also put them in S, but in the lower tier S, because they're not as easy as the one-tap head conversion ARs, because you still need to hit heads either way, even with RNG spreads. I was debating on putting Saiga down to A, but I don't know, its drop-off is still pretty good, so S, just like the rest, but it goes to the bottom of S tier to compensate for that. Akimbo Uzis is just like all the regs, A tier. It will go literally anywhere in the ARs, and it'll fit perfectly. Or SMGs. In that regard. Bow is not that bad. It's literally comparable to the S tier weapons for Damascus gold grinding, but at least you don't have to do long shots, so that's really good. But at the same time, it's gonna get really hard trying to hit headshot kills with this, because this is mainly like, you cannot mainly ADS with this. It's kind of like you aim with your crosshair and not actual irons, so probably A. Crossbow, I would have put this literally where bow and snipers are, but the huge drawback is the fact that you have to do long shot kills with this, and this is not one tap head long range. At the very least, it's really fun to use, and it is definitely better than bar, and probably better than some of the D tier stuff that we're gonna see soon, so I'll probably just put this in C, whatever. Grenade launcher, I heard horror stories. F. Gun pad can go A, because you could just use regs and easily, you know, get Damascus gold. Hollow blaster's the same thing. Icicle launcher, I was debating this whether I should put this in A or S, but probably in S, because you don't have to do long shot, so I'll probably give it that. Still worse than one tap head ARs in my opinion. Ray gun, easily S. I don't know where to put this in my opinion, but probably above the one tap ARs, because it has a one tap head conversion and it can carry up to 10 bullets, so yeah, that's probably it for me. Snowball launcher, easily S. There's no debate on this, because you don't need long shot with this, and you could just easily get headshot kills with this, because it has little to no recoil and 3 taps head, just like how 3 taps torso and limb. Literally not that hard to get Damascus gold in my opinion. Definitely above shotguns, I'll say that, but that's probably it. Spellbook, just like all the ARs, A tier. Doesn't matter where you put this, it literally would be in the same category. Tennis racket, thankfully you don't have to do long shot, so it's definitely instantly above F, but I'm still putting it at D tier, because headshot kills with this, with the charge ups, are not fun. All the randomizer guns are going to F, because they don't have anything to grind for. All the pistols will go exactly where the A tiers are, and it won't matter where they're put, so I'll probably put them probably on the low A tier, because they're still challenging, but really easy compared to the B tier weapons in my opinion. So I'd say that. Machine pistols, I would put the pea shooters on the B tier, because they do not do well on sweaty servers in my opinion, and you're definitely gonna have a hard time. I was debating on putting CBJ MS on B tier and Mac 10 the same way these two pea shooters are, but they're probably not going to be that bad in terms of getting headshot kills. So mainly because they have like low to manageable recoil, and they have pretty good damage too for that. So I'll probably just stick them in A tier where every other pistol is at. Probably above pistols actually, because they're a lot easier to hit headshot kills with. Scorpion will definitely be there too. Judge was going to get into S tier, but since it's like pretty downgraded compared to what it used to be, it's going in A tier, probably below the Seiko at least, because it's still easy. All the hand cannons can definitely go to S, but to see where they belong to, at least below Snowball Launcher, I'll just say that. Especially Gyro Jet, that thing is very lethal. Akimbo Storms, they're literal pea shooters, and not a fun one at that, unlike the PPSH and Thompson. So that easily, I don't know. It's not as lenient as Crossbow too, so D tier for me. So Poleaxe is meant to be D tier. All the other secondary melees are supposed to be C tier. And then Right Shield, I would still say would be an A tier. But then Great Sword would probably be in B, because you're exposed and pretty slow. Unless you have like any fast secondaries, unless you want to do it hardcore where you just, you know, run with the great sword and just try to whack people. But other than that, yeah, probably B tier for that. Ratio A. That leads us to melees. They're probably same tier as any other secondary melees, so probably C tier. Actually, I changed my mind. Yeah, they're going B tier because melees are quite fun to use and they're not as sluggish as secondary melees, if I remember correctly, and they're really fast. So you could definitely use movement to definitely melee them, but at the same time, they're not that easy to use. So there's that. We're saving the Tanto reskins and Hammer reskins for later. So we'll get the obvious out of the way first. And then for the Hammer reskins, they're going in probably C tier because they're not as painful as poleaxe, but they could still be painful to try to get backstabs with. But yeah, there's that. And for Tanto reskins, easily in A because they're really easy to get kills with. So there's that. Every other grenades, like dynamite grenade itself, easily in D because no one's gonna be dumb enough to fall for dumb tricks. Stick grenade, probably C because it's actually not as bad as people think it is, because you could just spam those and just get eliminations or kills. Quick lime, nobody even falls for this as much anymore, so F tier. Actually, what I was meant to say is that beach ball can also go in F tier because I also heard horror stories on trying to get Damascus gold on this and it was not that fun. Throwing knives will go to C, except these will be above all the melees because they are one tap. Now, time for a huge surprise, y'all. Flashbang, heartbeat sensor, insta heal, smoke grenade. You all expect this to be an F tier, right? Because they've never gone Johnskins before, right? Well, nowadays, since the update came in, they now have their own respective challenges for Damascus Gold, and they are some of the most easiest in the game ever. And so for that, they all go to Z because they are some of the easiest Damascus Gold challenges in the game yet, in my opinion. Still below snipers, but even though it takes patience, they are still some of the easiest Damascus Gold challenges you'll ever face in the game. Like flashbang, all you have to do is just flash people and then you're done. How easy is that? You just draw it on common spots. And actually, let me just put this in S because again, not much people are dumb enough to fall for flashbangs these days. You've seen how cracked people are nowadays, so there's that. Heartbeat sensor, all you have to do is just use it out, ping people, you're done. Insta heal is probably the easiest out of the three. All you have to do is get damaged and then you heal. The more HP you heal, the faster you're gonna get the Damascus Gold grind done. And it's very, very easy. And last but not least, smoke grenade. All you have to do is just throw it and then you're done. You're done. Literally. You literally don't have to sweat a single inch. And you literally just finish it. It's just tedious, but very easy. Flashbangs can be a separate story because it could be pretty rough. The only time you could easily get this is if you're in a lobby filled with a bunch of noobs, but that's really rare. So I'd rather put this in S in that case. Probably above ARs that have one-tap hand conversions at the very least. And other than that, yeah, that's the whole tier list. So I have all this, and this. Feel free to pause the video, or I'll probably send a link to the full image, but that'll probably be very rare, but we'll see about that. And yeah, that's the tier list for me in terms of how easy and hard all the weapons are and me ranking them from F to Z. And what do you all think? You all agree with me? You all disagree with me? Feel free to express your opinions in the comment section below as always. And other than that, I'm finally done with my Damascus Gold videos. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. See you all in the next video as always.